Hello everyone and welcome back to Sample Sunday. I've just been through my first run in quite a long time, so apologies if I'm a little bit like in this video. Today we are talking about white rum, specifically Plantation 3-star. Plantation is a brand which I've had originally very little and now quite a lot of exposure to. I tried their pineapple rum, I bought it a couple of years ago, really enjoyed it, nice pleasant rum. And then recently they bottled this incredible looking thing. So it looks like this wonderful cigar box, and I'm going to try to delicately open this. On the inside of the lid is a tour of the 6 rums you get inside it, from white all the way through to XO and everything in between. And then the presentation itself, I'll put this one back in just so you can see it. Looks like that. I really don't want to drop any of these. But the shop I work for started stocking these, and it came in one day and I was like, I need that in my life, because it's the most beautifully presented set of small bottles I've ever seen. Not much of an impulse buyer these days, but that got me. So I'm just going to put that, won't fit in shot, will it? Oh no, it will. I'm just going to put that there. But yeah, they're 3-star white rum. Now, oh by the way, all these bottles are 10 cl, which is a little bit more unusual. I saw something the other day on a YouTube channel that I really like, and this gentleman was making a few cocktails and he said that white rum is just vodka. Well, I'm paraphrasing. He said it does the same thing vodka does. You should ignore white rum and not pay attention to it. Now for years, I've been drinking this, which is called Veritas. I believe in different parts of the world this has a different name, but this is a 47% coffee still and pot still blended rum produced by Foursquare. I think it actually contains some Hampton rum from Jamaica as well. It is a white rum. It is aged for, some of the stock in this is aged for 1 year, but it is filtered to produce a lighter profile. I tried this at a rum festival and just fell in love with it because it smells like lime and honey and agave. And this is like my 4th bottle of it. So I heard that comment and it got my back up quite a bit. So I was like, well, this is not true, is it? Because vodka as a spirit category is literally made from neutral grain spirit. That phrase in itself, or that sentence I should say, kind of tells you a lot about it. Neutral grain spirit. Rum is not made from neutral grain spirit. This particular one, well, the Veritas here and then the Plantation I've got here, you know, they're produced by, you know, Veritas is produced by Foursquare and Hampton, who are 2 of the most, I can't think of words, the run has ruined me. They are 2 of the most praised rum distilleries, if not the 2 most praised rum distilleries on the face of the planet. Plantation, based in Barbados, but sources rums from all over Central and Southern America, as well as the Caribbean. And I'm like, well, that just can't be true, can it? Because white rum has a taste profile. They all taste a little bit different, and it does something quite specific. This particular rum, I'll get back to the point, Plantation 3-star, 41.2%, and it's made of rums from Trinidad, Jamaica, and Barbados. Now, interestingly enough, it says on this, well, on certain websites, that it is a blend of spirits. It doesn't say it's a blend of rum. Now, I might just be reading into connotations here. On the front, it does say Trinidad, Barbados, and Jamaica. I'll zoom in just so you can see that. But due to the way in which rum is made, and within that, the lack of rules around it, I think the use of the phrase spirit is more classical, because perhaps in Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, they may not make rums in the same way. I think in Barbados and Jamaica they tend to do, you get pot still influences from both of those, as well as coffee or column still influences. Trinidad, Angostoras from Trinidad, right? Angostura bitters and Angostura rum. So they indeed might make rum in a different way, in the same way that Haitian rum is made differently, and rum from Cuba is made differently, and then rum from the Philippines is made differently. So I just thought that was an interesting note, a blend of spirits, not a blend of rums. But anyway, it is in the glass. There's not much to see in the glass, as you can see. Body-wise, it's not particularly thick. It's coating the glass in a decent way, but it's nothing which is mind-boggling. This 3-star does also have aged spirit in it. Much like the Veritas, it is then filtered out through it's carbon filtering, I believe, just to keep it a bit clearer. But in the glass, if you do hold it up to the light, there is a slight darkness to it, almost like a green tinge. The Veritas in the bottle kind of has the same thing. I need a darker background, really. Maybe that'll work. No, it won't. But they both are of quite a similar colour. There's just like a slight darkness to them. Yeah, I like white rum. The days of drinking Bacardi are different. Because I still live in Salford. I was born in Salford. Grew up in bars in Manchester. And the only white rum you ever used to get in bars was Bacardi, because it's so famous. And indeed, I tried Bacardi and was like, why? Why would you drink that? But that's a different kind of rum. That's a mass-produced, mass-market rum. This isn't expensive. A full bottle of this is about £20. Full bottle of Veritas is a bit more. It's about 30, 32. Happily pay it over and over again, though. So they're a little bit more expensive. They do some more unusual things. But let's stop ranting. Let's smell. So you know it's young. There is we've already mentioned it, but there is like an agave like quality to it. It is, I mean, yeah, it smells a little bit like, specifically it smells a little bit like Azul tequila, which come in those like ridiculously tall, beautiful bottles. It has that kind of creamy vanilla-ness, which is sweet, but also kind of earthy in the same way. There's loads of honey, really, really fresh honey. It's not as lime driven as the Veritas. The Veritas just smells like it has lime juice in it. It doesn't, but it does smell a little bit like that. Yeah, creamy vanilla, honey. Not that citrusy at all. There's almost a whiff of like a milk chocolate to it. Something creamy, for sure. I describe it as a creamy smell. Is that a juxtaposition? And naturally, just because it is quite young, there is a slight note of acetone, or indeed sort of nail varnish remover style to it. Anyway, taste. That's quite sweet. The finish is like cream soda. Bit of a vanilla bomb, that. Yeah, texturally, it's very thick. It's thicker than what I was expecting. Again, very similar flavours to the nose. I don't think this rum is designed to be complex, especially not at £20 a bottle. I think if you like white rum, whether you like drinking it neat or whether you're into mixing it or making cocktails, it's meant to just give you a bit of boost with the alcohol, and then quite a pleasant textural approach to it as well. I drink Veritas neat, but I've been making daiquiris with it for like years. I will be making a daiquiri with this tonight because I'd be intrigued to know texturally how different it would be, because the Veritas, even though it's higher alcohol, comes across a little bit thinner and much more citrusy. But yeah, if you like unaged spirit, or aged spirit which has been slightly filtered, you'll love this. This is a new thing for me. I bet loads of you have tried Plantation 3-star. We will be doing more of the Foursquare stuff. I'm just trying to like stagger them, because there's 4 samples looking at me from Foursquare now, and trying to film a few of these videos in one day is a lot because they are quite strong. But just to give you a glimpse of this box again, these are about 60 quid. And honestly, nothing has ever looked better than that. On the back as well, like, you get this beautiful map of Barbados, and a full rundown of like why they've all been made, where they've been sourced from, and a little sign off from Alexander Gabriel, who's the master blender of Plantation, as well as Ferrand Cognac. So, just an incredibly well put together thing. People in the whiskey world, why don't you make stuff that looks as good as this? Because it tends to cost more. You know, give us better quality. And then, just show you the inside again. So, what is the right way up? So we started here. And then at some point we'll move on to the dark rum, then the Grand Reserve, which is aged, not sure how long for, I'll find out. Then we have a Gran Anejo aged rum. Then we've got a Jamaica 100% pot still rum. I might do that a bit earlier on because it's just weird. And then we've got the XO, which actually does use some cognac cask maturation. But yeah, as far as a rum goes, I think it's all right. Probably wouldn't buy a full-size bottle of it because I think for the extra tenner, I'd rather buy that because I know how good this is. But texturally it was a surprise. It's not a complex product, but as I've said, I don't think it's designed to be. But I think this is an okay rum. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. It's certainly more interesting as a product than most stuff that Bacardi are producing. And indeed, it's a little bit stronger at 41.2. So yeah, all over, that's pretty okay. That's pretty tasty. This one's gone on slightly longer than what I thought it would. I'm going to go and get a shower. But post-run rum, pretty good idea. I recommend you all do that. Not in a bad way, you know what I mean. But yes, thank you all for watching. Next Sunday, we will definitely have something again from this set, or indeed a Foursquare product. Just trying to alter them to keep it a bit more interesting. But I will make a point of depleting rum samples first, because it seemed to be where you all wanted this to go. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week. Cheers.